The views expressed on the Jerry Cahill CF podcast are that of Jerry Cahill and guests, and not necessarily those of the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Nothing on the Jerry Cahill CF podcast should be considered medical advice. Such advice can only be given by a physician who is experienced with cystic fibrosis. The Boomer Esiason Foundation, Jerry Cahill and guests cannot be held responsible for any damage which may result from using the information on this podcast without the permission of your medical doctor. You're listening to the Jerry Cahill CF podcast presented by the Boomer Esiason Foundation and jerrycahill.com.
Welcome to Jerry Cahill's Living, Breathing, Succeeding podcast series. This show, Going Through a Pulmonary Exacerbation, was made possible through an unrestricted educational grant from Corbus to the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Today you will meet Enid Katz, 30 years old from Hicksville, New York. Enid was diagnosed with CF at 3 years of age, and her brother passed away 6 years ago from complications due to cystic fibrosis at age 21. Enid's one hobby, love, and passion in life is horses. It's an honor to be speaking with Enid Katz today as she shares some of the dark side of cystic fibrosis when dealing with PICC lines and pulmonary exacerbations.
Hi, my name is Enid. I'm 30 years old. I grew up in Hicksville, New York on Long Island. I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when I was about 3 years old and diagnosed with CF-related diabetes about 6 years ago. And I lost my brother about 6 years ago due to complications with cystic fibrosis. My passion in life is horses. It's my whole life, it's my motivation, keeps me healthy. I started riding when I was about 11, and it's just became my whole life. It keeps me healthy, and it's my motivation to stay healthy because I do love riding. My brother Jeremy and I growing up were very close because of the CF. So not only did we have the brother-sister connection, but we had the CF connection. So going to doctor's appointments, it was fun. We looked forward to it. You know, we had our own little thing going on. We understood the medication thing. So losing that and going to the doctor for the first time without him was very hard, very hard. It's a whole different world. Even though he's not physically here, he's mentally here. I feel him with me. I see him. He's a blue jay. He leaves me feathers all the time. And I know he's with me all the time, and he's watching out for me, he's watching out for my health. And I continue to fight the fight for both of us because he was taken too early, and I'm tattooed with that, fighting for two. Right now I actually feel really good. I just got off IV PICC line about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had to switch up the meds a couple of times, but right now I do feel really good. We don't really know what leads up to IV antibiotics. When I go on it, it just comes out of nowhere. As we see it, I start to feel very tired and drained, and we try oral antibiotics and oral steroids, and if that doesn't work, then we just go to IV. What leads up to a pulmonary exacerbation home IV, usually I say I feel like I've been hit by a bus. So it's not just tired, it's just this drained feeling like I can never get enough sleep. It's just, I just want to sleep. That's all I want to do is sleep. I usually don't have a cough. I usually don't have breathing issues. My lungs are usually clear, and that's just how it starts, is usually exhaustion. Sometimes I'll do an x-ray or a CT scan of my chest, or depending, I'll do a PFT, but I have to drive to the city for that. So sometimes she'll send a script and I'll do an x-ray or a CAT scan near me, and she can see something on there, that's great. If not, she'll have me come in and do a PFT. During a pulmonary exacerbation, when I get a PFT, my PFTs can drop 20 to 50%. So it's a big drop, yeah. I definitely have had more exacerbations. When I was young, it was a PICC line every 5 years. And now it's, every 3 to 6 or 7 months. So yes, as I get older, it's definitely more pulmonary exacerbations. The only real things that I can think of to avoid it is just to do your treatments and stay on top of medication and stuff. Like, I don't skip treatments for anything. I could come home at 12 o'clock at night and I'm still doing my night treatment, or I plan ahead and I do it before. I don't skip medication. Whatever doc says to do, I do. It's just the best I can do. What comes to mind when I have to go on PICC line due to pulmonary exacerbation is defeat at first, because it's, you've been working so hard at staying healthy, you've been working so hard in treatments, and you're constantly doing what you need to do, and then you have to go on IV. But at least it's not in a hospital, and I can still go about my daily routine in my day, and I can still ride, so I'm okay with it. But at first, it's defeat. A pulmonary exacerbation at first affects me mentally, just because I have to first add something else into my daily routine and schedule it around, because I don't stop what I'm doing. I have work, I do my barn things, I don't stop. So to have to add something else in at first kind of fries my brain, but I've done it before, I do it again, no problem, we move on. I don't feel like life stops when I get a pulmonary exacerbation, only because I have my horses that keep me going. So it's just, I know the barn's gonna always be there. That's always my happy place. So even if I have to drag myself out, I don't care. I'm on IV, I got IVs hanging on my arm, I go to the barn. It's my happy place. It's something about horses that I'm so passionate about. Just that unconditional love, and it's your partner in your sport, and you have this mental connection with them. And they don't care what you look like, they don't care what you smell like, it's just, they love you for you, and it's just the smell of the barn just makes me happy. I have all my barn friends there, we all have the same crazy brain, we just get it. My family and friends are very supportive when I'm on PICC line for infection. They make sure I'm on time for my infusions. I have a very small circle, and they all know all my health issues, and they all watch out for me. With PICC line, pills, everything, they take care of me. My nurse comes to remove the PICC line. It's like the best day ever. And I can't wait till she takes it out and slaps a Band-Aid on it, and go ride and be free.
So it's a sense of freedom.
Sense of freedom for sure, yes. My advice for someone going through with a pulmonary exacerbation is there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will make it through. Just stay positive and stay on top of your infusions. Don't skip any, and before you know it, you'll be free again. Find something you're passionate about and stick with your passion, because that's got me through a lot.
We hope you enjoyed the CF podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on the Boomer Esiason Foundation's YouTube channel, so we can keep you up to date on our latest educational programs for the cystic fibrosis community.